Can we get a cup of coffee in here, please?
Damn good coffee and hot.
Damn good coffee and hot. Damn good coffee and hot. Not the best musical performance ever. Good morning, folks. It is, what's today? Hump Day, Wednesday. It's Wednesday, August 31st, 2022. Good to have you here. Today, my guest will be the host of the most popular podcast in the world. I'm talking about Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan will be with me in hour two. Look forward to talking to him about some things that are going on in his world today. Looking forward to that. Are you looking forward to that? Anyway, a lot going on in the world here. Or not a lot going on in the world here. It's hard to tell the difference between Donald Trump and Louis J. Gomez, according to who's going to blow up Twitter first with just refusing to let things go. Well, Trump's not even on Twitter and he's blowing up Twitter. Imagine that. Trump is on True Social, but like a shitstorm of tweets on, they're not called, they're truths. They're not truths, though. On Truth Social, which, by the way, was denied. Now, this could be construed as censorship. Google Play, where the Android folks get their apps, denied Truth Social on their platform for lack of moderation. Now, that's a rare thing for apps, lack of moderation. Like, that's not generally a reason to have your app rejected by them. They don't, as long as you rate it and say that the, content could be whatever, it's X-rated content. It's lively debate or any of that kind of stuff. And some of the stuff might not be true, even though it's called True Social. That's not really for the platform to decide. That does feel like censorship, I have to say. But I'm not going to cry any tears for Donald Trump over that. But he is losing his mind, tweeting or posting stuff on True Social at the speed of light. I think in total 125 posts yesterday. A lot of it QAnon crazy shit, repeating their kind of nonsense. So that's what's going on with him. And then Louis J. Gomez just can't accept a win. Whoa, what happened there? He got all bright. I got very bright, and I'm not that bright. Let's see if we take this out of here and go. Where do we go to 0? No, that's too dark. Go back here. Go back to 1. Can we go back to 1? Thank you. That's better. Not really a lot better, but it's better. Oh, better we go auto coloring it. That's better too. A little more color in there. There we go. All right, I'm a little fussy about the image here. Anyway, so Louis J. Gomez cannot accept a win on his Don't Hit a Child campaign. And I'm not even sure he started it. It looks like that Nazi Stefano Molyneux started the whole Don't Hit, which is a weird place to get that whole thing started. Stefan Molyneux. He's a fucking Nazi. Dead on, complete white supremacist Nazi. One of these guys who believes in racial superiority of actually Asians first, then white people, even though he's a white guy. But as far as intelligence and stuff like that, like race determines your intelligence, all this kind of stuff. He's a full-on Nazi, in my view. Anyway, he's a very odd guy to be the guy initiating the "don't hit your child" stuff that Gomez is sharing, and now taken as his personal Twitter war. But it seems like he won that war 48 hours ago, but he's still fighting it, even though we won. It's like you can't accept the win and move on. It's a very odd thing, very Trumpish. The continuing treats will kill your point. Once you've made a good point, it's time to shut up and just let them hand over the check. You've sold. You've made the sale. Last night, I spent some time in the studio cleaning in a way I don't clean. Are you a bachelor? Oh, what was that with voice? He's got the high voice all of a sudden. Are you a bachelor? Yeah. Are you a man who lives alone without a woman? I'm betting. Well, not all men who live alone without a woman are pigs. And I don't mean pigs in the way that Jamie and Carl are pigs. I mean pigs in like slobbery. Just most men, if you go, most single men, if you go to their apartment or the place where they live, their house, their dwelling, fucking mess. I know mine is, and mine always was. Without a woman to keep me somewhat human, um, my place would be a garbage dump. Now that said, this room, my studio room, is the only room in this house that my wife does not come into or clean or do anything about it. She just kind of leaves it to me, which means it gets pretty disgusting. um, and I go back to that old joke. I heard that dust. When we die, we go back to dust. So I don't dust because I think it might be somebody I know. But wow. So I move things. I actually move things out. I have a tower computer that rarely gets used and a desk that was full of stuff that I moved out. And I found things. I found cameras, lots of video cameras I didn't even know I had. I found a GoPro 3, which I don't know how old the GoPro 3 is. I don't even know how to use it because it works, it powers on, but there's no like instructions on it, and the screen on it. I don't know if you could see this because I'm still powering it up. I don't need to power it up, but the screen is that small, and you got to be able to read the instructions on whatever you do and set your lens and set your recording stuff on that tiny little screen. There's no way in hell I'm seeing that stuff, and I can't get it to display. I know there's a way to get it to display on a big screen. Like, maybe this might be it. Could be. I don't know. HDMI out or something like that. But I found cameras. I found lots of cameras. Cameras and cameras. I have like 4 or 5 different video cameras I found that I rarely used. Some of them are the best quality. I think this is pretty good quality, though, video-wise, the GoPro 3. Anyway, I found this. This is only part of it. It's kind of a rotator for a camera robot, and you can actually program it to kind of do like circles and stuff like that. Get some really weird automated shots and stuff like that. I found a case. Actually 2 cases. We got My Vital C. I got it in 2 different forms here. My Vital C was a sponsor early on in the program, and what My Vital C is a product that claims that the claim was rather extraordinary. Up to 2 times your lifespan. There it goes. Increase your lifespan by 2 times. In other words, the average male lifespan is somewhere in 75 75, 76 years old, something like that. Imagine living to 150, 152. That is the claim of My Vital C. Now, when they were a sponsor, and I was trying it out. This is a 30-day supply. I think he originally sent me 6-week supply, like 45 days supply. And you do it every day. And I have to admit, after doing it every day, I started to feel a lot better, had a lot more energy, was thinking clearer, which is, a big stretch for me to be thinking clearer. I don't think that clear. People who listen to me ramble in the morning, clarity of thought, not my strong point. But it definitely helped with that. And I was feeling better. The problem for me was it tastes fucking awful. It is a carbon molecule, a molecule of carbon that tastes so bad. But the way they figured out to get it into your system is they encapsulate it in olive oil, pure olive oil. And to me, you would think, oh, Italian guys, they love olive oil. To me, it's the grossest thing in the world. It's like taking a shot of 10W40. It's just disgusting. But the claim is you can live healthy, feel healthy, live longer, live a lot longer. My Vital C. Now, I'm not pushing this as their like as a sponsor here. I'm just telling you what their claims are. I found 2 30-day supplies here. If anybody wants these and wants to give it a try, my thing when it first approached me with it, it's like, I don't want to live to 150. Shit, man, I don't even want to live to 80 or something. Maybe I want to say 70, but it's getting kind of close, so maybe I shouldn't say 70. But it's not about length of life; it's about quality of life. But if anybody wants to try this, you want to try living longer. I'd be glad to, first person who takes the claim of it. I got 2 cases, so actually the first 2 people. If you want to just let me know, DM me. I'll be happy to send you. What else did I find in the archives? Yeah, the archives of dust cleaning up. I should say hello to people in the chat room. Hold on, let me see, because I'm seeing there are people over there now. Good morning, Dean. I think you're supposed to be here. Oh, no, you're not. Oh, that's Joe Rogan who's supposed to be here. I'm sorry. And Kevin and Jamie Dykes, who I put out an ultimatum for last night, got maybe a year to live if he doesn't do the right thing here. Sitting back in my classroom waiting for icebreakers before I disappear into my office for the rest of the day. I'm not lecturing today. Neither am I. I'm not lecturing today at all. So we're fully up to date with Kevin's first day back at work. It seems that Kristen Becker and I share a birthday. I did not know that. I didn't see a lot of people wishing her a happy birthday yesterday, which is kind of fucked up. But nobody knew. I guess people don't get that alert like people follow on Facebook. I'm not on her Facebook, so I did not. I saw it because she said something about her birthday last night. Oh, happy birthday! I didn't know we shared a birthday. Interesting. It's interesting to me because I don't know. How do I put this? Well, I just dug myself into a fucking hole, didn't I? Sometimes Kristen and I can butt heads on some things we argue about. We'll put it that way. But that's interesting to me because I had a lot of girlfriends and a wife who also had the same birthday as me. It was kind of a weird thing for a while. It was starting to freak me out. Like every girl I dated or went out with had the same birthday as me. And I married one of them. So it's weird for me because always women who will share my birthday end up arguing a lot. Being not always, but not seeing eye to eye on some things pretty often, put it that way. So not really that surprised to find out that Chris shares a birthday with me too. On that note, anyway, if you're just joining me, my guest today will be the world's most popular podcaster, Joe Rogan. We'll talk about some things that he's said recently. And that should be an interesting conversation. Don't you think me talking to Joe Rogan will be an interesting conversation today? Come on. You're up for it. I know you're up for it. Tomorrow, Michael Hilliard, told you I don't think clearly, will be with me. Michael is the host of the Redline podcast and a guy who's really up on world news and has a lot to talk about and teach us. Let me see. I'm getting man. What happened to my text here? Something happened when I upgraded this machine. That the text is really small. I'm like either that or I'm going blind, and I don't think I'm going blind. All right, it's nothing important. Anyway. So that will be an interesting program tomorrow. Michael Hilliard will be talking about world news and oh boy, and stuff like that. I'm just checking Twitter again. Trump meltdown is going on Twitter. As I mentioned, he's just he's just like grasping his thoughts. And now one of the things he said is yesterday, he wants to know why are people so mean. Donald Trump wants to know why are people so mean. Well, you can just go down the list of really over the top mean behavior, low life behavior, insulting behavior. This is the guy who made fun of Serge. What's Serge's last name? Reporter with the hand condition, but a disabled guy. I mean, this guy mocking disabled people, asking Serge Kovaleski. He was mocking Serge's condition, all that kind of stuff. Wants to know why people are so mean. Just you can't get any. Is this parody? You can't get a stronger. Is this parody moment than that? Than Trump tweeting that stuff. Very bizarre stuff. Now, one of the things that this is the state of right-wing gaslighting that's going on in America. Several Republican senators came out and said, if Trump gets indicted, it's looking like, how could he not get indicted? But I've been saying that for weeks, and they're still not doing it. But they came out and said, if Trump gets indicted, there will be riots in the streets. And then we see videos of them having like a boot camp for militias getting ready for civil war to fight for Donald Trump. And so Biden comes out, and like Biden, listen, I'm not a Biden fan in any way, and he's definitely not the most articulate or not the smartest guy, and not the most articulate guy. But he comes out and he's saying to these people who are threatening civil war that, you're threatening a war against the United States of America. We have F-15s, paraphrasing him. And the right-wing guys get all hysterical. Oh, what kind of thing is that to say? Well, it's so unpresidential. I mean, he's threatening the American people, American citizens, with using military against them. The threat came from them. The threat of civil war came out of their mouths. And then when the guy calls them and says, a guy calls them out on their bullshit, you're not going to start a war with us because you're going to lose. Oh, how dare you threaten me? Wait, I didn't threaten you. You threatened us, you fucking gaslighting motherfuckers. That's it. That's where, everything they do, I'm talking about the right wing now, the Republican Party, everything they do, they want to paint themselves as the ultimate victims. And where did that mindset come from? The leadership. The ultimate victim, king baby, dirty diaper Don. And this is America. It's almost like you can't make this stuff up. You can't. Nobody could have written this into a believable scenario 10 years ago, or even, I don't know, 7 or 8 years ago. How absurd we've become as a country because of this 74-year-old, whatever he is, 72-year-old baby, 73-year-old baby, whatever he is. So I think he's 74 now. Big baby that seems to have control of half of America. Have you ever seen a parent or a couple of parents maybe who have a child and it's clear that the parents are not in charge? And I'm talking about a toddler or even younger than toddler. And everything the toddler cries about or asks for, the parents jump for. Like completely under the control. Who's running the house? The least competent, you know, least educated, least everything person with no experience in the world. The baby has all the power in the house. I've seen that. I've seen really bad parenting where parents are just out of control, letting the kid run the house. And very small children. I've seen it with actual infants at times. This is America. This is the world we live in right now. Will it change when he gets indicted? Who the fuck knows? I do think he will be indicted, but I don't think that it will ever be possible to really have a fair trial for him because everybody has already made up their mind. It will be interesting to see what happens. Okay, so they indict him. Where do they go from there? Would they hold him without bail? That would be interesting. I mean, Espionage Act, you would think those people generally get denied bail. Somebody with the resources and wealth to travel almost anywhere and connections to get asylum, you would think they'd hold them without bail. But then again, we're talking about a very unusual set of circumstances here. Anyway, phone lines are open if anybody wants to call in. I haven't done that in a while. Phone lines are open. Somebody asked me if I would do that last night. And I was going to do it on the program last night, and then my guest was a no-show. Now, I am sick of it. I don't even know. It's always a different excuse. And last night the excuse was, well, we sent you an email today that we would have to reschedule. Did you get it? No, I never got the email. So I set up a whole thing with publicists now. If there is a short notice cancellation for any reason, text me, don't email. But the email never came. And that's a convenient thing to say. But so instead of me sitting there like a mook waiting for a guest who doesn't show up, I could be doing other things with my life, like cleaning the studio and finding video cameras I forgot I even own, or lots of equipment I forgot I own, or 2 cases of My Vital C, a bottle of wine, a bottle of bourbon, Irish whiskey, a bottle of Irish whiskey, a bunch of books, CDs, box of CDs, a lot of equipment, 4 or 6 video cameras, 7 portable hard drives. I forgot that they even existed. I got to see what's on them, make good use of them. Found a whole lot of shit. Could have been doing that all along if I would have just gotten a phone call or a text to say, I can't make the show tonight. But instead, I sit around waiting for a guest that doesn't show up and finding out late. So my guest from last night. Now, I'll be honest with you, it was going to be one of those I was not really all that comfortable with anyway. I've said this a lot, and people still don't believe. I don't really prepare for my interviews at all. I really don't. I just walk into a room, basically this room, and wait for the guests to get there and know what the topic is going to be. Know what the subject matter of their book is or whatever they're talking about, and wing it from there. I really do. I really know almost. I know as little as the audience does about the subject matter at hand. It's a learning thing for me, and I don't want to over prepare. I want to make it feel spontaneous. But this one was Queen, a woman's journey from sexual slavery into radical forgiveness. And she's a Kundalini yoga expert. Now, that subject could be very intimidating to me. First of all, I don't even know what Kundalini yoga is. I know what yoga is, and somebody has actually um, explained to me what Kundalini yoga was many times over the years. People have explained it to me, and I still don't know what the fuck it is. Do you know what the fuck it is? Can you explain it? Somebody in the chat room, do you know what, or if you want to call me and explain what Kundalini yoga is, I would appreciate that. Um, my guest has arrived today. My guest today has the most popular podcast in the world. He's a very controversial guy at the moment. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome in Joe Rogan to the. Oh, Joe Rogan's not there. See that? He needs to reconnect. He's got a problem.
Give me a second.
You're Joe. Joe, your camera's not on, Joe. Are you there, Joe?
Hold on.
Wow, Joe doesn't sound himself. Joe sounds like Dean. That's really weird. I never realized Joe and Dean had such similar voices. You want me to take you out and you come back later, Joe? Or you come back in a minute when you get your connection better? Yeah, I'm going to take Joe out. Oh, that's a shame. We'll see if Joe can get his stuff together. I was looking forward to talking with my guest, Joe Rogan. I'm not sure his camera's working. We'll find out when he gets it working. We'll bring him in. Anyway, where the hell was I? Oh, we just lost Joe completely. He's gone. You discover the guest with you. Oh yeah, you discover the guest with you. Yes, with your audience. Yes, that's pretty much. But not just the guest, the entire subject matter. So that one. Now, this woman was born into a cult, a radical cult, according to the paperwork. I didn't even know which one, but it was one of those ones where I can't even pronounce the name of the cult leader. There he is, the fabulous Joe Rogan, ladies and gentlemen. Joe Rogan. Joe, welcome.
Hey, what's up?
You look a little different today. I guess you haven't been working out. Haven't been in the gym much lately?
Oh, yeah, I've been slacking. Yeah, I've just been smoking weed with.
Now, Dean, did you see that Rogan said that he wants everybody to vote Republican?
I thought that's what he wanted all along, right?
Yeah, I know, but he never came out and said that. Now he came out and said that. But here's the thing that got me is that he lives in Texas that is run by Republicans, but they have the toughest drug laws in the country.
I know, right?
Right. And so possession of marijuana is a Class A felony. If up to 7/8 of an ounce is a Class A felony. And I know,
wow.
You know he's got at least a half ounce in his house, right? You know that. He's got to have at least a half ounce. I bet he'd have a quarter pound or more.
Half ounce isn't that much, yeah. Not that much.
Right. Yeah, you know. So I think he's the people that make him a criminal. His life the things he does, his lifestyle is criminal in Texas. He wants he
And like
wants
I'm sure he's not a guy who supports abortion. Pretty sure.
right.
But yet
He's against abortion. He had last week. He had a debate with the guy, and he
he's
was
against
basically
it.
yeah. No,
Oh
no,
wow.
he's not against abortion. He's against abortion laws. He's
Yeah.
basically
So I don't
pro-choice.
know and I don't think he's against gay people. So I don't know why he would want to vote Republican.
One issue, only one issue, and that's
Money.
COVID. No, COVID. About it's like,
No vote.
and yes, it does come down to money. It's because in Florida they did not shut down businesses. They weren't shutting down. They weren't declaring essential businesses and all that. That's his main issue. Ron DeSantis did not go along with shutting down businesses, and that's what he likes about it. So he's a one issue guy, avoiding every other thing that he kind of believes in, which is insane. But I thought it was interesting. It's like I listen. The cops aren't going to ever arrest him or for weed, right? They're never
Well,
going
it's
to.
interesting. He's like a libertarian, supposedly, right?
Yeah,
But what's libertarian about marijuana laws, abortion laws, anti-gay laws? There's nothing
that
libertarian at all about that.
that's true. It doesn't make any sense. Which is, it just boils down to people are, and he's very super influential. But we'll see. I don't think anybody's gonna. If anybody votes Republican because Joe Rogan told them to, I would be
Well, if he was
surprised.
president, do you think he would have Doug Stanhope as vice president? Probably not.
Yeah, who would want that fucking job anyway? I wouldn't want that job. Obviously I could never get that job, but I wouldn't even if I could. I can't imagine anybody really wanting to be president of the United States anymore. I mean, think of all the bullshit that comes with it, and it doesn't pay well. Uh, f-
Well, I
for
would do it only for devious purposes.
Yeah. So let's change the subject here. So Saturday night, I guess it was Saturday night, you go down to Brooklyn, is it? And you get in, you're dancing, and you get into the reggae thing, and you start dancing. Now you said something interesting. You said, I don't do it like to get laid or anything like that. I just do it for the enjoyment of dancing with people. Is that a fair assessment of what you said about it?
Yeah, more or less. Yeah, to dance to dance.
I agree. Now, I think most people, well, you're, I'm wrong there. I shouldn't say most people. A lot of guys do go to clubs and they dance only with the idea of getting laid in mind. But a lot of people come at dancing with the same attitude that you do. It's just enjoy the dancing, enjoy the moment, enjoy
I
the
was thinking with this Trinidadian woman. She was extremely attractive.
what kind of woman? What was she?
Trinidadian from Trinidad.
Wow, wow, and
And
she
was
did.
very sensual. Like we were looking in each other's eyes as close. Her
Uh,
boyfriend was very close, very close. So I didn't. There was no bumping and grinding.
Well, that's
But
kind of where So even if you go into it with this, like, I want to call it pure intent, like you're just there for the dancing, but dancing can be really seductive and can
oh
lead to
yeah,
other things, even if that's not your main intention, right?
I didn't say I wasn't open to that. But of
I
course,
know, I know. Good point. You did not say you weren't open to that. Good point. Fair point. But I just, so I just don't think. I think sometimes it can be really seductive. It can be like an aphrodisiac, dancing with somebody, even
no,
if you
it was
didn't mean it.
like that. But I knew that nothing was gonna happen. But it was sensual. It wasn't sexual. It was sensual.
Right, right. I get it. And now, tell me about dancing to. It was all reggae music, or no?
All reggae music, 100%.
Now that's backwards, though. Reggae music is the beat is turned around. What is the dance like? It's not like disco dance. Is it
No,
like
it's just, the skink. You move your arms like back and forth.
is it like a Deadhead boogie? The Grateful Dead
Hell
Deadhead
no,
boogie.
it
No.
ain't like that. You gotta first of all you gotta follow the bass like this. I mean, it's just basically swinging back and forth like this is the main bit of it. And you can do variations from that.
Are
It's
there
fun.
like in excuse me for being an old man here, but like in disco, there are certain dances that have choreographed steps and people know them. Are there actual dances that people know like and do together?
There are such things,
There
but
are. I'm
yeah,
curious because I never
no,
there's
there
this.
are such things, but yeah, the skank is the main thing.
Yeah.
There's like different speeds, the ska, rock steady, reggae, different
Is
speeds.
everybody there stoned or not?
Not everyone.
Yeah, because what I think back
Most
to.
people. Most people, yeah.
Yeah, I think back to the days of Marley and Jamaican reggae, and listen, it was all about getting stoned before the music. I mean, really, I mean, not just
We don't have to get stoned before the music anymore.
no, but they were smoking spliffs, and when in those days,
We
spliffs
be
were
smoking spliffs too.
yeah, big one. So, are you smoking in the club? Is there? It was a club,
No,
right?
it was an outdoor garden. It was called Natty Garden. It's a garden.
Wow.
Yeah.
So people could smoke, and so you're in out open air. So were people smoking like around? Like, could you smell it?
Oh yeah.
Everywhere in
Yeah.
New York, right?
Everyone's doing it. Me too.
Yeah, New York pretty much smells like reefer these days, doesn't it?
It does. Yeah.
Reefer
This
and
is part too.
reefer and urine, a little bit of a mix there. Yeah, no, it's just interesting to me because there's a song reggae dancing, but I never really think of reggae as dance music at all. Maybe I'm wrong. Now it was a DJ, right? It wasn't a
Yeah, it
band.
was like 6 different DJs. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, yeah. So, and you weren't invited. Did you leave a card? Do you have cards? Did you make any connections to
I
get gigs
wasn't
in?
invited, but I knew everyone there. It's who's DJing. So
Was it Brooklyn or Bronx or
it was fun.
all right? How do you get there? You take trains and stuff.
Yeah, I was just off of Atlantic Avenue and Atlantic Avenue and Thompson, Dean Street and Thompson Street. It's off of
Right.
Dean Street and
Now,
Thompson Street.
what's that like? What's taking the subway like in New York now? Is it? I haven't done it. Oh my God!
Oh, it's wild. It's wild.
Yeah. Now
Yeah.
you should be getting some footage from the subway trips and sharing them on the.
Oh no.
I'm always thinking about me, not about you. It's all about me. I'm too bright here. I gotta turn down the.
I don't wanna draw attention to myself.
You could do it. I gotta.
You don't want to draw attention to yourself 1 o'clock in the morning on a subway.
No, I got a pen camera. It's a high definition camera. You just put it in your pocket. Nobody knows you're even filming.
Like Inspector Gadget or some shit.
No, no. I got a lot of spy cams. Don't ask why. No, because when I was taping the band, I found out that if you have a camera like this on a tripod, people will one of these things. People will put on a show for it. They see the camera there, and they'll put
Yeah.
on fakery for the camera. But if you have spy cams around that they can't see, so I had like eyeglasses, sunglasses and eyeglasses with a camera built in. I have a pen, of all sorts of stuff like that. That is spy cams, and then you catch them being far more natural. I was doing it to try to get documentary footage, and I have a ton of it. But so I do have a lot of those things. I have a camera. It's got a little battery in it. You put it in your pocket. Nobody ever knows you. That would be great for subway stuff to get some really people living.
I like ran into everything on that subway journey. There were people freaking out, screaming. There was like a saintly woman who was like calming down homeless people and then talked to me.
Right.
She was really a saint. She really was.
Wow. Wow.
There were lots of
Yeah.
crazy things going on too. Yeah.
Yeah. Is there still music there, like people busking down in the subways, or no?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. Do you like you have to get a permit for it now and all kind of like back in the day you could just bring a guitar down there in a case and start playing and nobody would hassle you and you make a
Well,
couple
I
of
don't
bucks.
know. Like, I think most of those guys don't even do that. It's only the ones who are down by the big subway stations, and they have like microphones and all that.
Yeah. Pretty cool. Yeah, sometimes you get some really good music down there. Sometimes you get some really interesting. It's not just guys with guitars and stuff. It's different. You get
No,
all
like I've
sorts.
seen people playing African choras, which is the African like harp kind of
Wow.
down there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that sounds really cool. Yeah, a lot of cultural. You could become culturally hip just on the entertainment you get in New York streets and subways.
It's
You don't.
true, yeah.
You don't need museums.
You can go far with that.
Do you take advantage of New York City's rich cultural experiences, like museums and stuff? Do you take those in?
I haven't been in a while. I've been to all of them, but it's been a long time.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, and if I lived there, I don't know if I do it as much as I think I would do it, but would want to go back to the museum. I'm not big on the Rock. Going into the Manhattan is just it's
Oh yeah.
not for
I thought
me.
you were talking about Wayne Johnson.
No, the Rock. The big rock in the middle of the city. That's what I'm talking about. The one where with all
The
the people
island,
on
yeah.
it. Yeah.
Well, you don't call it the island 'cause you
Yeah.
live on another island.
Yeah. Do you get into Manhattan a lot?
More these days is Brooklyn. I tell you, I bypass Manhattan.
You love Brooklyn. You
It's just
should
where I don't love. It's just where things are going on.
you should be like the Commerce Secretary or the Chamber of Commerce.
I don't love Brooklyn.
Why don't you move there? Why don't you move to Brooklyn if you love it so much?
I said I don't love
Oh,
Brooklyn.
you don't love Brooklyn. But
No, okay. I mean, I like the music stuff, and I go there for music, but I don't like that it's crowded with hipsters. I don't like that.
hipsters?
Hipsters, yeah.
No, what's going on with that?
It's still going on in Brooklyn.
Yeah, because I guess 10, even 12 years ago, I had
Yeah, I know.
a a mentorship with a kid, and he was working for me, and he was a photographer, filmmaker, and he was living out here in the East End, and then he moved to Brooklyn, and then all these filmmakers we started discovering there, a lot of people in the arts, and then a lot of young people all of a sudden started going to Brooklyn. Now, Brooklyn was always, when I was growing up, it was the place nobody wanted to be. It was like slummy, it was gangy, it was a lot of crime there. It's just a bad place to be. Nobody was moving to Brooklyn. Now all of it, white preppy kids with cameras and film school degrees and Five Towns music degrees and art degrees started moving into Brooklyn. Why did that happen? Do you know? Do you have any clue why?
Yeah, of course I know, man. Lower East Side got priced out. That's what
Yeah,
happened.
yeah.
Lower East Side got priced out,
So
and then
yeah, there's
everyone,
a lot of white young urban professionals. They used to call them yuppies. A lot of white 30-year-olds who are into the arts in Brooklyn.
yeah,
Yeah,
they got priced out of Manhattan. Is what happened.
yeah. And it also a lot of it seems to be right around that Atlantic Avenue area where that the arena is for the Nets, right?
Yeah, that's where I was the other day. I was right over there.
Yeah, that's where it seems to
Barclays.
be going. Now, there's also a lot of weird religion stuff going on there. At least I noticed that when I went there, when I met you at Billy Wayne Davis there, leaving there, like the Prophet, they were all signs for these different kind of and little. They have like storefronts that are churches, like tiny little storefronts that are just some weird church and stuff. Like a lot of religious stuff and end of days prophets and all that kind of stuff going on there in Brooklyn. It's just crazy. Um, yeah. So, what else is going on with you, man? What's
We got
life
a
like?
DJ gig next week. Next week. Stuff from the Mississippi.
How do you get these gigs? Do you have an agent? Do you go out and book them yourself? You got to make. I mean, networking. How did it come to you?
I know some people, but the gig I've been doing at Rise Radio, they have a sign up sheet. They have to know that you're good, and then they'll put you on a list you can sign up every month. So that's the one gig I do mostly. Other ones I get with friends sometimes.
Yeah. Uh, you know Carl Man. What do you think of him? What do you think of Carl Man? Is he a good guy?
The right winker and
Yeah, no, because he's there. He's giving us a little bit of a hard time here in the chat room, and I just he seemed to me to be like a bit of an ass. What
a bit of a winker.
a
No.
bit of the dog and the mass shooter. He's calling you a mass shooter. Now, have you ever shot anybody?
I haven't even shot a gun.
Never even shot a gun.
I shot a BB gun. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, I never shot anybody yet. I have shot a gun, but I never shot a person.
I'm not averse to shooting a gun. I mean, not at people. I mean, just trying it out.
Carl says Americans love saying wanker. I don't love saying wanker. Just
Maybe I.
just referring to him. Yeah. So are you a you don't really care about news and stuff, world news and all that stuff. That's not a
Much I care, but I get tired of it. I would pay a lot of attention like during Trump and stuff, but I'm tired of hearing about the
Well, the stuff tomorrow is not going to be stuff you're tired of. I guarantee it. It will be stuff you never heard about. Now, we will talk about a little bit about Ukraine because I want an update on that. Michael probably has the real information that you don't get in the media, but he'll be talking about all sorts of world news that I'm sure most of the people who listen to this program, and I certainly never heard about, like talking about all the stuff that's going on in Yemen and Somalia, and I mean he's tuned into the stories that we don't hear about because we're too obsessed with America this, America that, and our own internal bullshit that's going on here. But so that stuff is interesting to me because how much stuff are we missing? Stuff that's really important. And like the Ukraine stuff, when that first happened, when Russia first invaded Ukraine, everybody was talking about it. And the idea was it was going to be quick and Russia was going to win pretty easily, pretty quickly. And then maybe not. Now it's still going on and nobody really even talks about it anymore. After couple of weeks, it all kind of faded into the background, but it's still going on. People are still dying over there. They're still fighting. They're still blowing shit up, and we don't hear about it anymore. So it's just weird how it's the biggest thing for the moment.
Heard about it a lot for a couple months, though.
Right.
Heard about it a lot.
But it does still pose the threat of nuclear war. Are you concerned about that at all? Are you concerned about the future? Do you live for the future? You live day to day.
I live day to
day. Yeah. I mean, would it totally suck if the world ended tomorrow for you, or there was
yeah, but I don't think that's actually going to happen. Ukraine doesn't have nuclear weapons. Well, they do. Or do they?
Russia does, though.
Russia has it.
Yeah, and they've threatened to use them. And I believe this is what I want to get from Michael tomorrow. I believe what I hear is going on is that the nuclear power plants in Ukraine are being exploited by Putin. He's like intentionally having them leak radiation to kill people, and that's fucking sick, man. That's some sick third level fucking Bond villain shit right there. Purposely leaking radiation to kill the population close by the power plant, or not just kill them, but totally fuck them up. All this stuff.
I don't know if that's true, though.
You don't know I don't know if it's true either. That's what I want to ask Michael about. William Conway says, I also don't love saying wanker. I call it my one-eyed trouser snake. Thank you, Monty Python.
A wanker, a tosser, whatever.
Yeah. What is this? Craig Johnson saying shaking hands with Elvis. What does that mean? What am I missing? I know I'm missing something there. Shaking hands with Elvis. Do you get that?
No, I can't see the chat, so I'm in the dark.
I don't know what he means by that. I feel stupid when somebody says something funny and I don't get the joke. I feel really stupid.
Well, maybe I don't know what the joke was either.
I know, that's what I mean. I'm trying to see where the joke could have been on that. I know he just wouldn't say shaking hands with Elvis, just Nixon. You don't just blurt that out like without any meaning or reference or context to anything. I don't
It would
know.
be really odd, wouldn't it? Yes.
Yeah. Well, this is riveting radio, Dean. You know this is riveting radio, right? I didn't have a guest on purpose because I thought maybe you and I could I don't know, fight about something because people say that people really enjoyed us arguing for the first 10 minutes of
Did
or
they?
15 minutes.
I
Yeah,
told the chat, and they seemed to like it. Well, it wasn't the intention.
yeah. Uh, um, Yesterday I talked about the Louis J. Gomez thing. Now he's a guy. He he's winning. He won that argument, but he can't seem to let it go. He's talking about hitting kids, and but to me he won it on points. He was right about everything he was saying about how it's we've learned that's not the best way to discipline kids, but he's not letting it go. He's still harping on it 48 hours later on Twitter, like everything. He's still having an argument even though he won and the person he was arguing
Even
with
though we
left.
won,
Imagine that you're having an argument with somebody in your apartment there and you win the argument and you're certain you won the argument. They get up and leave. They go home and you still want to have that argument. That's what's going on with Louis J.
it sounds
Gomez.
like how I was in my 20s, but I grew up a little bit.
Yeah.
You
But
know?
when there's nobody there to argue with anymore, they actually left and you're still holding alone in your apartment by yourself, still making the argument. Like I'm not gonna let this go.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
Yeah.
It doesn't lead good. Doesn't lead to good places.
Yeah. I don't know. It's strange. Like every tweet, like for the last 48 hours, and there've been a lot of them.
I have a DJ gig next week. So
Where's that?
Rise Radio. It's going to be on Twitch too. Kelly tuned into the last one. I know Kelly.
Do people contribute money to that on Twitch?
No.
No?
They could do that, but it would be Twitch. It would give money to them, right? Yeah.
Right. So what do you make any money on that at all? Like, do you monetize it in any way? Do you get like Venmo, PayPal, any of that kind of stuff?
No, I don't make any money on that one. I just get
Wow.
2 free drinks, but they're tasty drinks.
Interesting.
Usually you're supposed to get money, but yeah, they don't really make any money.
Now, speaking of Twitch, Friday, I don't know what time it is. I think maybe noon. Brett Brock is going to be doing a fundraiser for Christine, doing more art and stuff for
24 hours, right?
24 hours, right? Yeah. Now, the last time he did that, I believe he fell asleep right on his own Twitch stream. Not the last time he did the 24-hour thing for Andy, but more recent Twitch stream than that. He fell asleep on his own stream or something, right? Do you know about that?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. So
a couple of people fell asleep. Didn't like Jamie fall asleep too? Or
yeah. So are we taking bets on if he's going to make it through the 24 hours? Because listen, noon. No, who gets up at noon? So you're going to think he probably not. It's like more than 24 hours up for him because he's probably going to be.
People get up at noon.
Yeah.
I don't know if Brock is that sort of person now.
Yeah.
He seems like he's up at the crack of dawn.
Yeah. So that's a long time to be up. So you want to take bets on if he's going to make the 24 hours, or is
not only be up, but be painting quite a bunch.
Yeah. You know what? You know what's interesting to me? Like I found it difficult because back in the day, I tried to do a Bob Ross type thing where you talk and demonstrate the painting techniques. It's hard to talk and do it at the same time because you're either talking or painting. I can't do both. He's drawing and talking at the same time.
Well, he does that 3 times a week.
Yeah.
You know, he does that 3 times a week, but not for 24 hours. He goes long though. He usually goes like 4 or 5. His
Oh yeah,
stream is
sometimes 9-10 hours. Yeah, he goes a long time. You know, that is. So that should be interesting. It starts, I think, noon on Friday, 9 to
I'll
22.
definitely be checking that out.
Husky Boyo, folks, on Twitch. Look him up. It will be for a good cause. I think he's auctioning it now. I don't know if he's doing it the same way he did last time. I think he did. I don't think it
He's
was
gonna do a
eBay.
silent auction.
How does that work?
Silent auction, minimum bid of $50, which is of course reasonable.
Right.
Um,
And and then he it takes like a couple of weeks to process the thing or something. Last time it did anyway. Took a while before he could actually get it sorted out and post it. I don't know how long people can bid on the stuff for. Um, let's check out. Boy, I'm gonna run the banner for Christine's thing right here while I look it up and see if people want to give now. GoFundMe for Christine. Let's look up where the.
Has anyone heard? Have you talked to her? No.
No, I don't talk to her much at all. 21,156 is where she's at today. The original goal was $25,000. I think there were some extra costs that weren't figured into it, so I don't know if they can you change. No, still says the goal is 25,000. Um, I don't read all the updates, to be honest with you. It's because Kay writes books. Listen, I don't have time to read books. Just tell me how she's doing. But so I don't know if they need more than the 25,000 now, or if that's going to be enough. But they're not even up to 25,000. It's what is Carl saying? The following Friday. I guess that's when they know. That's how long the bidding is open for. It's not bad. 1 week. That's good. I bet he's all over that stuff now. All over what stuff now? Craig,
Who?
You're saying stuff that's confusing me today. I don't know.
Craig
I'm very
talking
slow and
nonsense.
very easy to confuse. Um, actually, I know I lied to people before that Joe Rogan was here, but actually, he's really here now. Joe Rogan is with us. I've been looking forward to this conversation for a long time, ladies and gentlemen. Joe Rogan.
Hey,
Joe,
Daddy.
what happened, Joe?
Welcome to the Ice House.
What's wrong, man?
Yeah. Wait, I want you guys up on top of me. You're both up there. Now we have twins. Look, the twin brothers here.
No, there's innuendo in there.
Listen, we could take on the new Columbine together. Yeah.
Oh, you look like what's his name?
Whoa.
Nemo. What's the guy's name?
Nemo.
Neo.
Nemo.
Finding Nemo.
Finding Neo. Finding Neo would be a good one. Like a cross between the two movies.
All right, there's too many screens and lights on here, right?
I do need more coffee. Kelly's right. I need plenty more coffee. What's up with you, Carl?
Nothing. Just catching a bit of the show. Good job, guys. No fighting. It's all good.
It's not a good show. It sucks. You know, we need more fighting, but I can't really find anything to piss Dean off about to get him all like emotional, and because it would be good. Good for people like it, the arguing.
Tried with Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
Tried with you. And so far, nothing can piss me off.
Well, that's a nice red beret you have.
You wear the same hats, motherfucker.
Oh, I got him pissed off about something. But it's a beret, right? It's a beret. That's what it is, right? A red beret.
Sure, it's a beret.
It's kind of like a raspberry beret. He's got
Is it a beret? I don't know. I'm not really.
You're back home, Carl. Carl, you're back home? I thought you were in Edinburgh. No,
I was there very briefly last week. I was in London at the weekend. I was in Edinburgh super briefly last week, shorter than I was going to the second time. But I just got super exhausted and just fucking bailed.
Are you still planning on coming here?
There has been some progression in that news in the last few days. I am now allowed to check on my former colony. I am allowed. I am. Yeah, I mean, possibly. I may be checking on my former colony very soon.
Well, I know
Nothing's confirmed.
Colorado is a long way away, but that guy Mark Masters I had on yesterday, who seems to be very influential, and they got like lots of opportunities for people. And yeah, I wanted to follow up with all my comedian friends who listen, and I know. Especially Jamie's not coming here, but if you come here, well, we got to find a way to get you out Colorado and part of that whole Vail thing, because it's too good an opportunity to not take advantage of them. When you make these connections, you got to cash in on 'em, make them pay off in some way.
No,
No,
we got to be big enough. New York, we need the help. Fuck Colorado. Colorado got enough. We need to get in New York.
I caught the chat yesterday. It seemed interesting. I didn't hear too much about the Vail stuff. I'm going to come out to the US more often. So it's been a long time, and it's almost time for me to be able to come out semi-regularly. So
I think you belong in like the hip markets. You got this is why I did that stupid tweet to you and Jamie last night, the private message that because there's so much opportunity. Austin, this Vail festival, the Vail comedy thing, which is it's a huge chance to open up for like some really big names, and maybe like the guy we had on, Corbin Masters, who basically hooked up with Mark Norman and get on a tour like that. That's a life-changing opportunity, man. If just to meet these guys, and if you can impress them, if you can say, show that you got something really good and go on tour with them, or be part of that, doors can open for you.
Yeah, it's the thing you've always got to be ready for. I think just I don't remember any sayings, but there's a saying something like right. You got to be prepared for the luck, right? Prepared for the opportunity. Just get ready, do the work. But I'm looking to progress in a lot of ways in the next year. I'll be able to talk about it a bit more soon. But yeah, I'm going to come out. I don't think on this trip I'll be able to go to Denver, just because there's a couple of places I want to hit. I've got 3 or 4 where people want me to go, so I'm probably not going to be able to do everything anyway. And then just financially, it's just going to be difficult to be out.
I get it.
Long.
Yeah.
Yep. But fucking Austin is expensive now, especially around when I'm going to come out. But I'm looking at some options, and I'll be able to.
What's expensive about Austin? Yeah. The flight, I mean, because I'm thinking about driving there. I'm pretty much.
No, the flight's okay. It's just the accommodation around when Altercation is on. Of course, all the accommodation's up because there's events, right?
Yeah.
But I'm looking in. I don't know the city at all. I don't know anything about it, so I'm looking into different places to stay and that kind of stuff right now. And that'll be fine though. Sorry, Dean.
Camper van.
Well, I'd have to rent one. And that would it looks like accommodation actually won't be too bad. It's just I'm trying to look at it all now. Where can I go? How long for? I'm almost certainly going to come into New York anyway, and then I'll probably Austin, and then from there I've got to try and work out what's possible. But I'm coming out. Who gives a fuck? And I'll come back in a few months and do more stuff. That's the plan. So yeah.
William says he's always looking for lightning in a bottle. I don't think lightning happens in a bottle. I don't think that actually happens. I think it happens in the sky. Or actually, I think lightning comes from the ground up to the sky, but we see it is the other way. But I think.
Do you have a gig lined up for New York, Carl?
Sorry, Dean?
Do you have a gig lined up for New York or no?
No. I didn't even know whether it's possible for sure to come until the other day. So literally this week, I know I can kind of get the time. I can.
He's playing your apartment Friday, October 22nd.
Yeah, I'm in your apartment on in October the 13th. You don't know yet, but just there'll be a gig going on in your
Halloween gig in Dean's bathroom.
Yeah, I'll be wearing all of your berets at once and
10
minutes.
I don't have that many.
10-minute hat showcase in the Bronx, and then I'll go outside and get stabbed.
Yeah.
Carl, I got a question for you now. I think Dean, this doesn't apply to him because I know he has a woman who comes in and cleans his house twice a day. But for me, twice a week. I'm sorry. Last night I cleaned the studio, like did a real cleaning and got behind stuff and actually moved furniture around and found how disgusting a human being I really am. You live alone. Are you like me? Do you have dust that is starting to
Dust,
become alive in places?
yeah, dust has historically been a problem. I'm pretty clean in that I will do all my washing, do all my laundry, wash the
Yeah,
dishes, all that
yeah.
stuff. All that's clean. But dust, yeah, I don't really dust. So if something's a bit dusty, I'll clean it with my hand or something.
Right. Single
And then yeah,
men clean differently than women. Like women do this like complete douching of places. Like they'll get in and bleach stuff.
but they're right. But
I
they're
know.
right. It's
Yes.
disgusting because you move a keyboard out the way and there's things I've picked out my nose and dust and food that's been there for
Yeah.
3 months and it's like oh
Yeah, so
yeah.
I was finding stuff last night that was just amazing me. Like, I haven't seen this in years, and with the wet vac and getting in places, and just the sheer amount of dust and place, it was amazing to me. But I think most single guys are like that. Like, if I don't know how we exist, because when I was in an apartment, like you, I did my dishes, I did my laundry, I made sure things were neat and tidy. There was no dust on the coffee table, but I'm sure if I ever moved the couch, it would have been like,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
when I was moving out of my last place, it was things I'd find under a whole like run of food under one sofa or something, bits of pepperoni that have probably been there 3 years. It's just it's not good.
I gotta say something to Jamie's comment there. When my dream crush is a little older, I'll be there. Um, that's assuming the world will be here. I don't live under that assumption anymore. I used to live on that, and I get it when you're young. That's an easy assumption to live on. Like the world will always be there. There's always tomorrow. But I don't know. I don't
Are you
know.
going
I
on
hate to be
I'd
a doomsday sayer.
I'd act now and I'd say, what does Jamie actually do for his children? And I mean that with like, I mean, what does he do? Because his wife drives them everywhere.
Right.
They pretty much cook for themselves. He's certainly not responsible because he's always drunk at night, so he can't help them. Like, if they get their leg trapped in a man trap out in the garden, he's not going to be able to even get out to help them. So what are you doing to help them? So I'd say just leave now, and it will make no difference to their lives.
Well, that's true. I don't know if that's true. I don't know Jamie's life, but with me, with my life, that was very true. I know I was an absentee father, so it was. I might as well have been out gigging, and I was.
I don't even mean absentee. I just mean just
No,
so
I
you know,
mean there absentee. I was there, but not emotionally there.
Yeah.
I was. Now, because that came to light the other night when we were taking my grandson out for crabbing. Like the times that I actually was there for my son in those instances were very few. So if you get those opportunities, cherish them. But if you're not going to do that, you're not going to take your kid out and play ball with them. You're not going to take your kid out and do things that have meaningful father-son or father-daughter moments. You're just there paying the bills at night. Doesn't you could go away for 2 or 3 weeks and take care of business, and they won't even miss you.
Do it in, just do it in little sections, right? Yeah, I know plenty of people that have missed their kids' birthdays and all that for years, and weddings, and not their own wedding, obviously, but just work. And then if the aim is to get paid from comedy, then the aim is to be away all weekend, every weekend, Thursday to Sunday, right?
Yes, I know that lightning in a bottle was a cliche.
No one knows what's
But
going on.
I
There's
do
a
not.
cliche where no one knows what it means.
Right, lightning in a bottle. I don't
What does
know.
it mean?
We can't get too over analytical with it, but it is what it is. Anyway, yeah. So but so William, I would say this. I mean, Vail, Colorado is a 6-hour bus ride from you. If you don't get in touch with Mark Masters, now his information, he gave you his information. Go to markmasters.co, markmasterscomedy.co, get his email address and write to him and say, you're a friend of the dog. You've been in comedy for whatever, 10, 20 years, however fuck long you've been doing it, and say, get me on some of your shows. It's just that simple. Take advantage of that. Cash in on that one. Anyway, so I'm still looking to do stuff here on the local level, but talking to people yesterday about comedians that they don't know, they don't have the name recognition value, and getting them booked on shows. Like, yeah, maybe if a feature opens up, if somebody is playing here and they need a feature, we'll consider people like that. But generally, they're not intake friendly. In other words, you can't really approach them with, I got an idea for a show. They're more outwardly thinking, this is who we want to get to come, and they're booking people are taking advantage of that. That's what I'm finding out with making phone calls yesterday. Like, very little interest in private producers saying, I got a show I would like to put on there. How do I go about doing it? Well, our booking agent takes care of all of our stuff, and so it's an
is
outward.
that at clubs?
Yeah.
Like comedy clubs, yeah. It's tough.
What about governors?
What?
Governors.
That's who I'm one of the ones I reached out to, and basically, they decide who they want there, and then they find out how what it's going to take to bring them there. So they're not that they're closed off completely to the idea of an independent producer saying, I have an idea for a show I'd like to put on there, but then the way they want to do it is, I don't want to, probably shouldn't discuss all the business part of it, but for an independent guy like me, if I want to produce a show, it basically comes down to renting the place on my own and then buying the bar on my own.
You got to take the risk, right? It's the way. I can see it. The only way I've seen it, people used to do it at the Comedy Store, rent it out, but really only if they've got a following. If you haven't got a following, or you can definitely sell most of it out, it's a massive.
Right, because not only are you taking the club rental out, and that includes bar and all that stuff. So now your risk is pretty high there, because you're paying for a lot of stuff. You're going to take all the profits and all that stuff, but it's a pretty big outlay. But then the promotional stuff is all on you too, and getting it promoted right.
Yeah.
And you're talking.
So I'd start smaller, and I wouldn't even go to a club. I mean, if you can find a venue that's got a separate room, so it's not in the main room of the bar, because I mean that they can be okay, but in general they're not. If it's got a separate room that you can go, if it's a bar where they've got events on and that kind of stuff, find a separate room that's a nice room for comedy where you can shut the fucking door or whatever it is, upstairs, downstairs, basement's even better, and just say, can we use this once a month to start with, once every 2 weeks? Comics will go and do those rooms, but then it just depends what level you want to be doing in terms of paying them, how many seats you're getting in. Can you fill it up? Can you attract people to come there every week? I know plenty of people that run shows every month or every week, and quite a few of my friends are doing really, really well now. They're selling out every week, but it took them a while to get there. But you learn on the way. You probably will make mistakes as well. It's just you don't think of everything, and the venue could be more or less helpful. You just don't know. They could be fine. They could give you a budget. They might not. They might just say sell tickets.
Yeah. So the more I look into it, the less I want to be a producer. Is basically.
Yeah, but you keep bringing it up. I think you should do it, but it just take a bit of, and don't overthink it as well. Because if you go and do a night somewhere that's no risk to you,
right?
Well,
I'm thinking comedy clubs might not be because there's a theater I put on music shows in. It's a really cool theater. It's a theater that was built in 1894, I think it was, and it was a theater that Thomas Edison did a lot of experimenting in. And Joe Rogan's with us now. Hey, Joe, nice to see you.
What up, you fucking assholes? What's going down? What are we talking about? Where was we? Dream Crushers. Yeah.
What the hell happened to Rogan's accent? He sounds like he's from the UK or something. What happened, Rogan?
What is Rogan's eyes? Boston, eh? Fucking Boston. Boston.
What we were talking about was you, and you're assuming the world is going to be here when you're ready to go out and kill comedy. It's not going to be here. The world's going to be done by next summer.
Well,
world we live in.
You wanted to doomsday, sir.
Speaking of the world being over, can I interest you guys in living for 150 years? It's still in the shrink wrap. My Vital C, this stuff will double your lifespan. And I'm not charging. I'm giving it away. All you have to take it every day, and you'll live to be 150. Are you
I'll take
interested?
the vitamin C. You can mail it to me.
Okay.
If the world's
All right.
ending next year, then there's no point taking it, unless you're gonna live and be like an immortal, like Keith Richards, and then live.
I think that's what happens. I think that you do become kind of vampire-ish. There's two. I will definitely send this to you, Dean, if you're going to use it, and then we can use you as a guinea pig. If you start to grow like a third ball or
third day,
yeah,
monkey
your hair grows back, something weird happens. You get some dignity.
Now I use it for I used it for 6 weeks every day, twice a day on the program. I would start the program every day by taking a shot of this. And I have to tell you, it was absolutely disgusting for me.
Disgusting?
For me, just the taste of it was just gross. I had to take it with a chaser. I would take like really bad chasers just to get the taste out of my mouth. Like I drink it.
It'd be worse than Imodium mints.
Yeah, I'm following it up with a shot of bleach or gasoline or something just to get the taste out of my mouth.
Good stuff. I like it. Carl, are you using the new microphone now?
Nope.
No, this would be a good time to use it.
Are you guys doing your thing this week? You doing your thing?
Yeah, Thursday. Yeah, back on track tomorrow.
Back on Thursday. It is tomorrow, isn't it? Fuck, I thought it was Tuesday. There we go.
Yeah, it's because of the bank holiday we had. Yeah,
it's Wednesday.
It's of Dykes and Man tomorrow, 6 p.m. UK time.
What can we expect? You guys got guests yet? You're getting some. I know you talked to Erickson about doing your last rites or Dykes and Man. Anything? No.
Erickson's a weekend kind of guy. We have spoke to a couple of people who are happy to come on. What's that Wolf? What's the comedian you had on? Something Wolf, young girl.
Young girl. It's another one Jamie's trying to sleep with his wife knowing.
No, what are you, Kid Rock? Are you Kid Rock?
What are you talking about? What's her name? The co-host here.
Great radio.
Keely Wolf. That's the one. Yeah, you had Keely Wolf on your show, yeah. So, yeah. First day to come on. She's cool to come on.
Nice. I can get you a 14-year-old. A 14-year-old rock star. No, a 17-year-old. What is she? She's 17. Hante, whatever.
Is that your lawyer behind the camera?
Yeah.
17.
Yeah. 17. Yeah. Like, that's what R. Kelly needed. R. Kelly needs some guidance, didn't he? R. Kelly needed a bit of that. It's
just needed a friend.
Yeah.
That's what I need, man.
So that would be cool, and I guess you guys won't be talking world news. Tomorrow I'll be talking world news with Michael Hilliard. You guys not interested in world news, even though you're part of the world and not part of America.
I follow all world news all the time. Just
you do?
Never. Yeah, of course I do.
I check it on in the background now and again. When I
give me one story that Dean has no idea is going on in the world right now.
Ukraine
right now.
That's not American. Not American. No American news.
Okay.
No American news at all. I would say that there is there's currently a
flood in India.
I don't know. It's a flood in India. They're because you can say that, and they're almost probably the Chinese. The Chinese are slaughtering Muslims
as we speak.
Yeah.
Fighting Ukrainian. Yeah, they're fighting Ukraine. Yep.
And in the Balkans, there's always fighting in the Balkans, right? They've been having wars there for.
Yeah, there's some disagreements.
Yeah, that's very complicated.
Jamie's getting beat up by his wife right now. He's an abused man.
She's heard something.
Yeah, he's getting beat up. So that would be a good idea for a network show, like No American News. That would be the title of it. Non-American News. Screw America. The Screw America Show. Welcome to Screw America, everybody. I am
America, fuck yeah. Hell yes.
You guys familiar with this Kid Rock thing? that's going on?
I know Kid Rock. What's the latest news on?
He was causing some controversy. Now this is ridiculous, and I'm not a big Kid Rock fan, and I'm not going to be a defender of Kid Rock, but I have to be a defender of the idea. People are getting all over him for writing songs about underage girls. Now, if you're going to go down that road, you really have to do away with just about every rock band that ever existed. Because everybody's got at least one song about an underage girl somewhere in their catalog. No,
Well, usually they wrote them when they were that age, basically, right?
I don't know. Ringo Starr was singing. She's 16 when he was in his 30s or 40s. She's 16. You're 16. You're beautiful in your mind. And Paul McCartney was well into his 20s when he was singing. She's just 17. If you know what I mean. I mean, you go down the list. Everybody, every single one of them has a song that somehow or another. Listen to songs. They're like jokes. Songs are like jokes. It should be off. It's a song. It's not real. It's not like he's not encouraging pedophilia. I don't think. I don't know. I don't know the song. But
what if he was? No, it should be.
If he were, then that would be a different whole thing. If he was saying, go out and rape underage girls, or I don't know. I don't know the song. I guess maybe I would be well more informed.
Is he just talking state specific? He's got the 17 and 16 map up for all the states.
Right.
He's thinking about this.
We've all got our kinks. We've all got our dreams. Live and let live.
Who was that? Who was the guy? She's just 16 years old. Leave her alone. They all say. Well, that guy. I don't know, Gino Vanelli or something like that. I don't know.
There's a whole album. I found my parents were listening to years ago a 50s album. It was a 1950s rock album, rock and roll, and almost every song on one of the sides. I want to track this album down, this CD, because almost every song was just like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
it was all about 15-year-olds and
right.
No, what mentioned back then.
And rock and roll was built on the backs of pedophiles. I mean, the King, Elvis Presley. What was Priscilla when he started dating her? 13 or something?
14 years of age she was, yeah.
Yeah, 14. Close enough. Yeah. And Jerry Lee Lewis with several
he's banging his cousin, right?
He said 13-year-old cousins, yeah, and killing them. I think he had 3 wives. I should look this up. Why Jerry Lee Lewis, why he's known as a killer.
When are we talking about this? Oh, Kid Rock.
Yeah, I didn't hear about any of this stuff.
No, his nickname, The Strange Mysterious Deaths of Mrs. Jerry Lee Lewis. I thought there were like 3 of them. They died in swimming pools or something, right? The killer was in his bedroom behind the door of iron bars as Sonny Daniels, the first ambulance man, moved down the long hall to the guest bedroom to check the report unconscious party at Jerry Lee Lewis residence. Lottie Jackson, the housekeeper, showed Sonny into the spotless room. They gotta give me all his pros and stuff. I just want the facts. I think she died. The first wife was his cousin, and she died in the swimming pool. And I think he had his second wife also died at home under mysterious circumstances. That's how he got the nickname, the Killer. People was coming right out.
People usually die in swimming pools.
Yeah, but people are always partying and stuff. Famous people party. You get the coke round, you get the partying round. You leave someone in the pool, they hit the head.
Yeah,
happens all the time.
Barrymore, Michael Barrymore's another infamous one from the UK. That was a good time, Carl. Yeah.
There was a young lad died in a TV presenter's pool over here, and the joke was that he killed them with a chair leg. I think he died with wounds in his anus. But it was just a gay drugs party for TV.
That can happen. Dean, that ever happened to you?
What? No.
Only the once, so they would never happen again.
Yeah, I don't know. It just seemed to me like people, because Kid Rock has been so political lately, that's why he was under attack. Not necessarily that the song. I guess I should listen to the song to be more informed about it. Maybe he's saying, yeah. No. The music, I can guarantee you this: the music will suck. No matter.
Well, he
He's
just
just
samples music, yeah. He doesn't actually. I mean, he writes a couple of new lyrics on. He's kind of like I don't know, like Weird Al Yankovic type of style. He just takes, samples of music and just chucks a couple of different lyrics in there, and then away he goes.
yeah. His biggest hit was "Ball with the ba 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 with the ba 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 ba," right?
Goobity Bob out to Christopher Reeves.
Yeah.
Just yeah.
Never a big Kid Rock fan, but you know what? He's an idiot, but he was smart enough to make millions off of just stealing appropriating other people's music.
Doing very little, yeah.
Yeah.
And if that's the kind of life I want to live, do little and make a shit ton of cash on it. Brilliant.
Now you've changed your lighting there. You look pretty well balanced lighting. We've never seen you lit up like all. You're not as ugly as you seem in the dark.
Yeah, I'm not as gloomy. I'm just in a different room, right? I'm in the kitchen, so I can smoke with the door open, but it's just a little bit better lighting than you. That's all,
Do you ever take your boy fishing, Jamie?
No, I don't go fishing. I couldn't think of anything worse.
I don't go fishing either, but I think it's important to take your boy fishing, even if you don't do it. Even if he sees that you're, wow, look, Dad's a fucking doofus with the fishing pole.
Yeah. Yeah, fishing's not my idea of sport.
You got to do it. What? You ever take him hunting? You ever take him?
No. We recently brought him a pelican, so I might go, at the mountain, and I don't know.
There you go. Hiking. Is he into football? You take what you guys call football, like kickball.
He plays rugby, so we take him on his rugby matches every Sunday. He's into rugby. He watches a bit of football. He's not that interested in football, but rugby's his sport.
You take him to that. You got to take him to that.
Yeah, we got to take him to his rugby training, his rugby matches.
I mean, if you're going to use your kids for an excuse not to be out doing comedy, you got to be out taking them to stuff and doing stuff with them.
Oh yeah, we're always doing shit. Yeah, it's I mean, they're okay. They're emotionally stable. They can sort of handle me going to places. So it's creeping up. My outing without the kids is getting more and more. Obviously, the Fringe was a big one, leaving them for a weekend. So it's just.
I feel like Vito Corleone. Do you spend time with your family? Because a man who doesn't spend time with his family is not a man at all.
Can't really call himself a real man. That's right. Yeah.
Now, when you do things with your boy or with your daughter, do they how are they buried in the cell phone the whole time you're doing it, or do you smack the phone out of their hand?
No, like we on what day? Monday we went for the Brecon Beacons. We walked for hours and hours and hours, and they didn't get their phones out because there was no signal there, which is good. So
that's. Oh, they must hate that though, don't they? Don't they hate that? Like, I got no signal. I live on this phone.
Yeah. No, they took it pretty well. My daughter was fine, but the minute you get back to the car and then you get a signal, you could just fucking hear the phone going. It's like 1,000 messages come through. Most of them from Carl to me. Listen to this. Like,
Dean, how many kids do you have that you know about?
And you're
You guys don't know this, but Dean is he's a real player. I mean, he's
no doubt. I've absolutely after the post gig. I bet there's just 1,000 little Deans running around Brooklyn, Queens.
Yeah.
If you're a woman who's got one of Dean's kids and hasn't let them know yet, call the show 631-496-6464.
I did that for like April Fool's jokes. Yeah, I think a couple years ago, and there were some people who believed me. I was like, oh, I just found out that I have a lost long kid in Europe.
Hello. Right. Yeah. Oh, no, it's one of your kids. He's looking for child support now, Dean.
Stop boy. Get those discs fucking spinning, son. You need to win some crust.
Yeah. I bet Dean gets laid a lot more than he lets people know about. He's kind of a player because
Dean,
he comes like this, wolf in sheep clothing or whatever. Like, oh, Dean, he can't. He's not going to be all that dangerous. And then before you know it, he's fucking your daughter or whatever. He's a very dangerous man, this Dean.
He's a player.
think he hides behind this like beret, his raspberry beret he comes with. Like, oh, he's a mild-mannered Dean. And then before you know it, he's like beating the girl with his dick. smack her in the face with his dick. Right, Dean? I got you right.
That's fucking it. Here's the question for Dean. Are you married?
No,
Then you are definitely having more sex than I am, without fucking question.
no, I'm not. I haven't been laid in 2 years.
Well, you can always get the old hand on it.
Yes, I can.
Get it going. Carl's
I
on mute.
don't. Williams says he doesn't go fishing on a fishing outing at 16. I hooked one of my cousins behind the ear. Yeah, so
I agree with Conway. I got a paranoia of fucking going past fishing rods. Fucking hate them.
yeah, but that's part of it. Everybody gets hooked now and then. I one time I threw a crab up in the air I got it with in the net, and I flipped it up in the air and it came down and got on my father's nose. It clamped down with the claws on my father's nose. Now, I never heard the end of that. He was angry at me, but that's part of it. Shit like that happens. Everybody gets hooked. Everybody gets
They
stabbed.
probably don't fish in the UK. That's probably it.
The worst part of it is once you catch something, you're almost committed to eating it, because if you're not going to throw it back and you're not going to give it back to life, then you have to eat it, and then you have to clean it. And cleaning it means cutting off the head, gutting it, and all that stuff. I didn't get
experience
scared.
though. We went camping years ago. Just me and a couple of the boys went camping. My mate spent hours trying to catch a fish with all his gear. Didn't catch a fucking thing. The next day, my friend Wayne turns up with a really cheap fishing rod, and within 10-15 minutes catches 2 trout. So we went back to the camp site. We gutted it. We fucking cooked it and ate the fucking thing. It's beautiful.
Yeah. You actually cleaned it? You did the gutting?
Yeah. My friend on the first one, because he fishes, and it looks simple. He just smash his head on a rock, open the guts, you clean it out in the river, and he just chuck it on a pan on the barbecue, and away you go. Beautiful.
Were you sure? Where'd you get the confidence that you were doing it right? Because I wouldn't be worried that I'm leaving shit in there I shouldn't be leaving. The crab stuff is easy. You just rip off the top shell and you take a hose and squirt the shit right out of it.
Yeah. Well, my friend's Carl's on mute.
Oh, he's on mute. I didn't mute him. No,
that'll be why. That'll be why nothing's worked.
That'll be why.
No. Carl's a mute.
Wow, that's being clipped.
No, but the
fishing canceled, dog.
I know. Why are people so mean?
Bastards.
The whole cleaning stuff would make me nervous. Like I know I didn't do something right.
It's
Yeah, you're cooking it. You're setting fire to it. Get most of it out.
Well, one guy at the dock the other night, he was catching pepperfish. I said, I never heard of pepperfish. He said, most people don't eat them because if you don't clean them right, they have poison in them. So you have to know what you're doing. Like that would scare the fuck out of me. Like I'm not going to take a chance with something like that. Yeah.
There's the Japanese pufferfish, right? Where it's if it's not cooked right, you can die.
Yeah. Well, maybe I'm not going to order that then. I'm just,
That was a Simpsons episode, yeah? Homer Simpson went to a restaurant and he had the pufferfish, and the chef didn't do it properly. And then Homer was told he had like 3 days to live or some shit, and he had to get his affairs. Good episode.
Now, if you had 3 days to live, what would you do?
Me?
Yeah, if you knew you had 3 days to live.
I would definitely... I like to think I would have the balls to go and rob a bank. I've always had this image of me walking into a bank with a sawn-off shotgun, just like...
Not a flower shop.
No, a full-on... Yeah, not a flower shop, yeah. Sorry, Conway. My ambitions don't go that low. I'd go for a bank, man. Big time. Just walk in, City of London, just go to a big fucking bank and just hold everyone up for as long as I can and just, Dog Day Afternoon style, maybe. Just something like that. Yeah, that's what I would do.
Yeah, we just passed the anniversary of that Dog Day Afternoon stuff. That was some pretty bizarre stuff.
Yeah,
especially for the day.
Mm.
I mean, you look at when that movie came out and when it actually happened, there was some really crazy shit going on in there. First of all, the fact that the guy had a trans wife, Leon, his wife, wanted the money for an operation. That's the reason he robbed the bank in the first place.
Right. Yeah,
It's
progressive. It's a progressive robbery.
Yeah, but for the time, that was really like, that wasn't even talked about in culture at all, and so it was kind of like oh wow, this is just like parody. It's like gotten silly now because a lot of people didn't believe that stuff actually went on at the time, and those operations were not perfected. I mean, really, we're talking like
you don't want your dick inverted in the 70s. It's not going to be good.
Yeah. Yeah, operations for trans people, I think, probably weren't even perfected until like the 90s.
Dean waited till Dean waited till 1985. He got the better version, like version 2.
The better version, yeah. There's better versions again now, but Dean waited. He done the good thing. He done the right thing.
He has got a pair of tits on his back, but it's better.
Do you still do the drag shows, Dean?
I have done that.
You have done that.
I did that for Halloween once.
Well, we definitely want video of that. See, now you can't say that and not bring video to the show. We need video. Don't you guys agree that surveillance cameras on the subway, Dean taking the subway, he should be getting some world-class New York subway footage to bring it to the program? Yes?
Yes.
I've seen some rough tapes from New York subway. I mean, just like homeless people fucking each other on the steps and stuff
for the dollar bill or something. Yeah,
not good.
That's where I learned about the gerbil thing from a transit cop in the subway. Told me about I guess it was even in the 70s, the gerbil thing, where they would take like a hollow tube, like a paper the inner tube of a paper towel thing, that cardboard thing.
Put the gerbil in the end.
Yeah, put the gerbil in the end, put the other, and then you ask them light a lighter and make the gerbil run up.
I think that Richard Gere thing is not true.
What Richard?
Everyone heard about that he shoved a hamster.
Richard Gere did it. Yes, supposedly.
We heard that at school. We heard that when we were like 7 years old. We heard about that. Like, how did that rumor go around the planet?
The big one when I was in school was the Rod Stewart thing. You guys know about the Rod Stewart thing, right?
No.
Oh,
I think I heard it.
After a concert, according to the rumor, when I was a kid, again at the bus stop, I heard this rumor that he played in Madison Square Garden the night before, and he had to have his stomach pumped because he had. He had the cum of 16 men. He overdosed on cum.
Yeah, I have heard that one. Sorry, yeah.
I don't think it's true. I don't think they would pump your stomach for that. They pump your stomach.
They were talking about that stuff before the internet really took off.
Right.
That just came out. Maybe they pumped it for a heroin overdose, and 16 loads of cum just came out.
That's believable. I could definitely see that, pumping his stomach for drugs, and then finding that he had a lot of cum in him.
It's a lot of spunk, man.
I mean, if there's going to be a time where you're going to suck off 16 people, make it be on heroin.
But I guarantee you, if we talk to one of my friends, one of my contemporaries from that, if I ask them about Rod Stewart, that's the first thing that comes to their mind, and most people still believe it. But I've never heard him address that. Nobody in an interview ever.
Why would he? He doesn't need to address it, does it?
But no, you would think some dumbass reporter would bring it up. But what about the time they said you sucked off 16 guys at Madison Square Garden?
Yeah, I think he'd walk out. I think he'd walk out.
Well, they did do that with Richard Gere. You know Perry Farrell from Jane's Addiction?
Yeah.
Carl?
I know Jane's Addiction, but I don't know the person.
Yeah, he's a singer. And he was interviewing Richard Gere on MTV in the 90s. And he asked him, so what about gerbils? And and Richard Gere just walked off.
Yeah, Robert Downey Jr. won't talk about him hitting women and taking coke in the 90s. So he'll just walk off a set if he'll ask him about it.
What about that car crash?
Yeah,
that car crash is the craziest. He ran into someone else's house inside their living room. Robert Downey Jr.
It's a great move.
Great
I'd
fucking
forgotten
song.
about that one. You forget how crazy he got in the 90s, I think.
Does everybody named Downey have a kid and they named Junior? Because there's a lot of them. Morton Downey Jr., Robert Downey Jr. There was another Downey Jr. in the news the other day. It's like, what the fuck? All these Downeys are Downey Jr.
Downsy Jr.
Downsy. I was going to say, you could call it syndrome, Downey syndrome or some shit. It's that's what I would do if it was my kid. Just to go back to spreading rumors, when we was in school,
Agreed.
a few of us spread a rumor that we went camping. We spread a rumor that one of the boys woke up with a condom hanging out of his ass, and no one knows how we got there.
You did
Yeah,
that? You started that rumor?
Yeah, I didn't
Are you
start
proud
that
of
one.
yourself?
So we put it around the school that, oh, this is what we heard, and he woke up with a condom hanging out of his ass.
And that's him right now. That's the boy right now. Are you proud of starting that rumor and knowing that that boy ended up killing himself? And
yeah, I didn't originally start that rumor, but it was a rumor that we started from an ongoing rumor, and we just spread it in our school. Hey, we spread it in our school.
Dog is not a fan of rumors. Hank does not like your rumor starting. That's basically what we're coming down to.
He's barking at his bone. Carl loves it when Hank barks, didn't you, Carl?
Yeah, I love it. I love being on a podcast and having other noise coming in. It's my favorite.
Noise. Yeah, just come on into the fucking
Women
conference call. Yeah.
Well, if not to, kind of beat a dead horse here, but if you cut my balls off, I'd be screaming in the background or every time you tried to get on a podcast.
I'd never stop.
This is fair.
Right. Dean, did anybody ever cut your balls off?
Yeah. No.
Because
Yeah.
Jamie likes to do that to his friends, his best friend, cut his best friend's balls off.
So somebody, this is a true story. A few years ago, this was it was a rugby. The Six Nations rugby tournament was on, and there was a guy who was clearly fucking psychotic. He basically said if Wales win, he's going to cut his balls off, and he actually turned up to the pub with his bollocks in his hand and dumped them on the bar, and he was fucking sectioned. For obvious reasons.
You notice as soon as you said cut balls off, Hank went, hey!
Yeah.
Hey!
You heard about the guy in Japan, though, right?
What?
Who cut his own dick off and served it to people for food?
That's amazing.
I didn't hear that. You guys are... I didn't even hear about Richard Gere until...
He was a chef, a famous chef in Japan.
Holy shit. I like him. Yeah.
I read about there's an account I follow called Mug Shorties, where it's just basically the premise is hot girls that get arrested, mainly in America. And it's a fun game to play. What did she get arrested for? DUI. But there was one the other day. She got arrested she was a waitress at Hooters, and she should have worked at Hooters, by the way, because she's got the original assets. And she got fired and arrested for shoving hot wings up herself.
Nice.
Both on and off her period to customers that have complained. Just going in the kitchen up there on the plate. I don't think that's bad. If I was a customer that I complained and I got the pussy hot wing, I'd be like, great.
What's the proper punishment?
Depends.
I just assumed they ran out of hot sauce and she was trying to fucking please her customers. That's
give her a TV show.
Yeah.
That's not punishment. That's a reward. No, she deserves some kind of punishment. I mean, I would not. I'm not an ass man, and hot wings up your ass. No, I'm not for that.
No. They want to put the right pocket.
Oh, the right, the hot
Yeah.
pocket. Oh, well, that's a different story.
Yeah.
In restaurants eating hot wings from vagina. That'd be another good show you could do.
I'm kind of okay with that.
Yeah, me too. They should be whole. They should
You
be
were okay with that. You both.
There should be a whole restaurant where that's just the theme.
Right,
Or
the
food.
an extra
No,
option
probably
on the
not
menu.
that clean down there. Probably not that clean down there.
You could do a man v food type thing, eat a whole plate of fucking hot wings that's been inside someone's dirty, stinking vagina, and you get a face on, your photo on the wall with thumbs up. I did it.
This is the worst show I've ever done. Now, before I wrap this up, because I'm going to be saying goodbye to Govs any second, I think that's probably a good place to end for today. Got a lot of stuff that I found when I was cleaning the stuff, cameras and whatnot. Got a GoPro 3, Hero 3. You guys got use for this? Call Jamie. You got a use for these kind of things?
I'll take it off your hands if we get to meet up. I used to use, I think it was the 2 or the 3 we took in like 2013, 2014. I used to use a lot of those for work.
I got a Zoom
have those
Q,
everywhere.
a Zoom Q4 I found down there. I found
Nice.
all sorts of cameras like this. I think I got 3 or 4 of these. HD cameras. They shoot 1080p. I don't know. A little.
You give them to Carl, and Carl will share the love.
Yeah. Well,
If you got any swag, and we've got an opportunity to meet up and swap a swag bag over, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, well, I definitely want to see some of this stuff get used. I think it's time to say goodbye to